Hello, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on what time you're watching us. And this is Alex Tomaszewska, your confidence coach, taking solopreneurs from procrastination to power. And today I have the utter pleasure of interviewing Vinita Zutshi, who's going to be talking to us about injecting a drop of magic into your writing, into your copywriting, so that you feel good about your copywriting, a skill that I have never managed to possess, by the way. Short intro and then we're gonna start. So Vinita is a wordsmith. I love that word. Storyteller, poet, transformational parenting coach, podcaster, and all-round spark. Yes, she is. Vinita has co-written and ghost-written books for several business leaders and organizations. She's been a speech writer and speech trainer to celebrities and business leaders, and specializes in helping her clients profoundly impact their audience through their words and the delivery of their words. Thank you so much for being with me here today. It's a Monday morning, so this is the first thing that I'm doing for the week, and it's an awesome start.
Thank you so much for having me. I love how we connected and how this interview got set up. So I think this was meant to be.
Absolutely. I think everything is meant to be. You just need to allow things to flow, and then magic happens.
You said it.
Absolutely.
You said it. Yeah, magic. All magic.
Yes,
magic.
And we're going to be talking about that magic, that getting that magic out of you and putting it into your copy. But first, could you share us a little bit of a backstory? Who are you? What made you come here, be here today, doing what you're doing?
Okay, so I am huge on authenticity all my life. So you can imagine that it's been a fairly uncomfortable world to live in on occasion, because people want to twist you and slot you into that shape or put you in this pigeonhole, and that arm is looking a bit awkward. Can we break it? No, you can't. So, but I think I've been stubbornly, deliciously, and very, very happily myself throughout, which has been quite amazing. So really hats off to my parents, because they let me be. And I think you have to have some place, the starting confidence that it's okay to be who you are,
Oh, yeah.
And then when I got to teenage and they started getting uncomfortable, I'm like, too bloody bad. Now you've got to take me as I am. Have any choice at that point. So yes, it has just been such a glorious life with a lot of challenges. So very, very quickly, and it's like at lightning speed almost, I studied economics, trained in fashion, worked in fashion all over the world. I mean, that was Paris, India, and Singapore. And lost my conviction for the fashion business at some point. I was in a merchandising class teaching graduate school, and suddenly I'm spouting philosophy, and I'm like, ouch, no, they haven't paid for it, and they deserve not to have 10 minutes of philosophy free. I can do it outside of an in class. So did a bit of soul searching and decided, I have to have something that I can give the world, that the world appreciates, and I can add value. And obviously it has to be me, because I'm not going to contort myself to fit anyone's conception of what's a great career, or what do they say? What professions are hot these days? I mean, I couldn't care. I need to be hot, and then every profession will work for me. And the same is true for you, for each of us. If you are on the go, truly nothing can stop you, honestly. As I've lived my whole life, I've seen this my whole life, and I don't think anything has changed today either. Anyway, so writing became it. And yes, and I'm also a deeply, deeply enthusiastic parent. I've been wanting to be a parent since I was 9 years old, which sounds really weird, but is not. And today I am the utterly delighted parent of a completely rock star 21-year-old. I'm also a single parent. There you go. So does that work, Alex? Too much information.
No, it's not too much, and it's awesome. You have this amazing energy. By the way we met is Vinita came to me for some sort of advice, and I just saw her energy and her mindset. And I think you asked me, I don't know why I'm procrastinating, and then you told me all the things that you're doing, and I said, I don't think you are procrastinating. So there's just so much energy. And then I said, okay, I want to interview you because clearly you're totally awesome. And you know, many people don't have that privilege of having the parents that will allow them to be themselves, and then we struggle with that our whole lives. Like I used to struggle with that, and it's been a journey, you know. The past couple of years I've been just trying to unravel everything that happened, you know, everything that happened in the past. So it's an honor to meet somebody who doesn't have to go through that and just can tell us, you know, if you just yourself, your life is going to be amazing, even if there are challenges. It's just awesome.
And we've all been through it. And I think you go through it in cycles. You know what I mean? Just because the little baby stops spewing at both ends, the challenge is it has to start sitting up and then standing. So there's always a new challenge. And I think we have the potential to become so much happier and more fulfilled. You know, that thing when you're just happy and at peace and delighted being yourself, and you don't even need to make a noise about it, and it doesn't matter whether anyone else is saying it or not. Such a fabulous place to be. And I truly believe it's achievable for everyone, right? So that's my thing. My mantra is to share the joy, pleasure, and excitement of being yourself in the world. That drives everything that I do.
That is amazing, and it's such a great direction for people to have, you know, as in general, in life, in business. Just if you put that as your direction, then you're fine. And this is what I tend to get my clients to. Of course, it's a journey, but just looking at them discover themselves and find out, you know what, I don't have to be pushed, and my arms don't have to be broken to be to fit that square hole where I'm round. I don't have to do that. Absolutely. And it's okay.
No,
that is such
absolutely
a point. Oh,
no.
Lovely. So let's get on to the topic, because we could talk for hours, and I know we will. Let's get on to the topic. So let me tell you about the problem that I have, because I believe a lot of people have that problem, and it's not an issue. It is a freaking problem.
Okay.
When I write my copy on my website, or mostly on a website, on a sales page, sometimes in a Facebook post, I don't see my magic there. It's like when I read it, first of all, I don't know if it's any good, you know. I just have to have somebody look at it and assess. I have no idea. So the first question to you would be, how can we assess if what we wrote is good? And then this magic, how can I convey the magic that is visible to people easily when they talk to me, you know, or maybe when they see me on video, then convey it into our writing. What is it that we can do about that? So maybe let's start with the first one. How do you know if what you wrote is good or crap or bad?
Okay, I'm going to flip them. I'm going to take the second question first.
Oh, okay.
Because that is the thing that is going to give you something meaty enough for you to begin to assess whether it's good enough or not. Okay, so I think the problem is at multiple levels. One, we are afraid. We have spent our whole lives being judged. So there'll be the person who says, oh my God, you're so quiet. You don't talk enough. You must talk. And so when you're a little thing, you know, and you start, you're uncomfortable, but you're like, okay, I got to do this. I got to be more talkative. So you, in your quiet moments, because you're not a talker naturally, maybe you desperately sit down and say, okay, I am going to talk about da 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 da. And these are the things. So you have like meat. Now you have things to talk about. And then when you go out in company, you're like, okay, let me talk. And you do. And what's that thing that happens to you? That moment someone cuts you off and says, my God, you talk so much, be quiet. And you're like, oh, hold on, what just happened? Am I right? Absolutely. So we are essentially told the root message is, you are wrong. Not what you are doing is wrong. Not what you are thinking is wrong. Not what how you're behaving is wrong. Not what you heard is wrong. You, like the person you are, is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
That is so hurtful. We spend in some way our whole lives looking for validation. Who's the person who's not going to say this to me? Maybe they don't go so far as to say, you're right, but at least they won't say you're wrong, right? We got to one place, like, oh boy, I can be here. Yeah, I can like live a little while in some sort of peace. And very subtly, we start collecting these signals from people. If I laugh with my mouth more open than that much, then that person is going to say, oh, this one is too loud. So that much, I'm not going to. We make ourselves wrong. We are watching ourselves. We're policing ourselves. We are not being who we are.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what goes into the copy. Because we are so conscious, whatever I am writing, it's aimed at someone. Somebody out there has to like it. And obviously, it's not one kind of person who's going to see it. There are so many people out there who are going to see it. And all of them are coming from different places. So I want to be in a nice space where 100% are not going to like me enough to keep reading through. So, what should I aim for? Shall I just aim for 50? Or shall I just aim for 10? But even that 10% is not really one amorphous blob. They're not the same person. So I just cut away all the things that make me me.
Mm.
And I become, it's a bad word to use. I don't like it, but I'm using it all the same. Vanilla. You just take away all the things that make you special, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You and I, Alex, we connected like what? It was like spark to dry, in a dry forest, right?
We connected at the first smile, I think, before even saying a word. Yeah.
Yeah. And we talked, and Alex is like, okay, calm down, calm down, calm down. You're flying too high. Just calm down. But there are people who will look at me and say, oh my God, this woman is all over the place. Who does she think she is? She's so energetic. Here's the thing. I am blessed to have had that from my childhood. Not everybody is. And the world beats you down, like I said. I had it from wherever I got it from. So I had a lovely seed to work with.
Yeah.
But there's enough people out there saying, you're wrong. You know? And we have to work through that and work over it. You know, the you that you're scared of, that you're ashamed of, that you're not sure of, that you're wondering, oh my God, if I just let them know this about me, they're going to go away and they're not going to like me and they're not going to talk to me and they won't love me and they might tell everybody else and then there's going to be nobody and I'm just going to be alone and lonely. Two different things, okay? But let's not go there for the moment. Just take one deep breath and take one step and don't worry about people. Just trust me. There are millions of hurting people out there that you will help simply by taking that one step after that one breath of saying, okay, I am going to show up as myself. That switch, if you make it, because you're not trying to make everybody happy. You're like, you know what? I'm shy and I don't want to tell you things about myself, and that's fine. But I want to sell you this amazing product or service that I have. And if you're a shy person, and there are enough in the world, you're going to come to me and say, oh, I like that, because they're not bombarding me with like, you know, too much information. Oh, here's my kid's pic and here's what I ate for breakfast. And that's where I'm not interested in your breakfast and your vacation pics, for pity's sake. You know, I only want to share that much of your life and I only want to share this much of my life with you. That can be fabulous. That can be magic. that is the place to begin to think from.
Mm-hmm.
Look, this is me. And I have had this problem and I've overcome it. Or I have this amazing skill and I can help you. That's all. You just focus on that place.
Mm-hmm. So it seems to me that the first thing that you need to do, and this is exactly the first thing that I do with my clients because it's useful not just for copy, but for everything that you do, is know and accept who you are.
Yeah. Yeah. Not even accept, but just show up as yourself. Don't try to, I mean, today masks, it is coronavirus time. Masks are the thing.
Oh, that's
But, but just in your copy, in the person that you are, just be yourself, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. I mean, look at it this way. If your copy has not been working, you've tried to show up as whoever else you've tried to show up as, and you're telling me it's not working. What do you have to lose? Take another chance.
Right, exactly. That's the thing. You know, we want to be perfect very often. I mean, perfection is one of the effects of low self-confidence. So we try to be perfect, which doesn't exist because when will you know, you know, what's up with that? That's chasing the rabbit. So just enjoy the run and don't really catch it. And so I lost my train of thoughts.
Don't worry, it happens to me all the time.
Yeah, we don't have to be perfect. That's why I keep improving my copy on my website. But you know what? It seems to me that anytime, like you said, like anytime I want to improve it, it's I get into this. Okay, I need to cut things away. Like, and probably the things that I'm cutting away are the things that are me, because we're trying to squeeze ourselves into something that we already know, and that's how everybody, you know, ends up wearing the same clothes in the world.
Yes,
Yeah,
you said it. That is, see, that's why I left fashion. What are the reasons?
Yeah, I figured they were probably not very authentic. I could see how that could have been hurting your values somewhere there in the middle. Yeah. Mm. So if you want to write, okay, I got this question recently from my client, and this is a very interesting question actually. So sometimes we feel like we're not good writers. We're not, I just want to outsource. I just want to outsource writing my copy. And I know you write copy and you write sales copy. Those are two different things for people. So the question that came was, how do you write? How do you work with a copywriter? Because I want to convey my magic. So if I look at anything anybody else has written and it's going to sound like me, it's so hard, such a hard job to make it sound like the person. To like, I have a social media manager, and when she writes things, I know it's completely no, that's not me, and I feel it. So how does a copywriter work with you? Let's explain that to people. What can you expect from a copywriter? Where do you even start?
So the best types will be able to talk to you about and will be able to impact and affect a few things. One is the structure, the flow of how your copy actually works. What comes first, what comes next, how the whole story is told, okay? So I have a Goldilocks sort of example, if I can take a 1 second detour to explain this thing, okay? When you're telling the story of Goldilocks and the three bears, if you're telling a small child, you say, oh, guess what? So there was this little girl, Goldilocks, and one day she had to go, maybe I'm making this up, but it doesn't matter materially, go see her grandma who lived across the forest, and she went, she lost her way, she was so tired, she saw this cottage, she came in. It's flowing. There is a certain way the story is being told. If I were to tell you that story today, you'd be like, oh, why is she boring me on this interview? And look at my look at my community. They're going to say, what idiot has she brought and what story is she telling? But if I start the story with Goldilocks opened her eyes to see the bear staring at her, it's the same story.
Mm-hmm.
We're opening it in a different way.
Yeah.
And obviously at some point we have to tell them, this is not going to be the last sentence in the story, but at some point we have to tell them that she happened into the cottage because she was going to grandma's, and so on and so forth. So the structure, how the same stuff is told, but what goes where, to move the pieces of the jigsaw, to create a certain emotion, a certain flow. Okay? So that is something a good copywriter would do. Instead of taking over who you are, you see, this is the proper role of a copywriter. And since I'm also a speechwriter and ghostwriter, I always work to bring out your voice. Exactly. I would never take someone's copy and say, okay, you tell me about your business, I'll give you a ready page. I don't do that. I mean, are you offering me $1 million? Try, but I still won't do it. I'll just take your $1 million and say, thank you for the gift. But I won't fix your copy like that. Because you have to work with me, because it's your copy, it's your baby, it's you, it's your business. The second thing a good copywriter will do is to make your words more powerful. So if you say, she opened her eyes and saw the bear, that's one way of saying it. If you say she was confronted by the bear, immediately you've said something different. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You use powerful words. Mm-hmm. You arrange them in specific ways. So a good copywriter is one who will use language effectively. And what I mean by effectively is to tell the story, to move the reader, the listener, I mean, however you are absorbing that copy, through a range of emotions that is going to at some point end in, oh my God, I need this.
Yes.
Actually, no. It should ideally, number one, end in, oh my God, I need it already. That's your buy button.
Wow, yes.
The second is, oh my God, I need this. And let me try and figure it out. The third is, I have to have this. There's no way I can afford it, but I'm putting it on my watch list and I'm going to go out, find the money, find the time, and I'm going to make this happen.
Right.
Okay?
Yes.
That is what I believe is the job of a copywriter. So, which is why when people tell me, hey, handle my social media account, I get a lot of offers like that. People are like, I'm going to tell you the craziest thing in 2 minutes, but, and I just say no. Because it's not Vinita's social media account. It's not me, you know. That's why I don't have much on my social media, because I'm just so busy creating and doing the things I love to do. I don't have time to talk about them or, you know, create the fancy graphics or do the whatever. I have the occasional post and then. So I had a TEDx talk. I made one post on it. And you know when I made the post? About a year after the talk came out, because one of my friends called me and said, hey, you have a TEDx talk out. I'm like, yeah, I did it last year. Idiot, it's been out for months now. I said, oh, I didn't know. Are you nuts? You must put it on. You must put it on social media. And I wasn't on Insta then. So I had one post saying, hey, all, delighted to tell you about my TEDx talk on storytelling. And that was it. And people are like, oh, you are like crackers. But you know, I just have the joy of living. I'm happy doing what I'm doing. And it's not about my social media, but like you said, Alex, so correctly, it has to be you. Mm-hmm. Just don't even spend that money if it's not you.
Right, exactly. And you know, there are people who have spent money for a copywriter, but they don't know what they want and they don't know their own voice. And then the copywriter is in a pickle. Is in a pickle because they cannot write a good copy. So that's the first thing to manage. Right. Thank you. This was great. Lovely to.
I just want to say one little thing, because I said I'll tell you the craziest thing. So once I was approached by someone who wanted me to write a book, a ghostwriter book. Yes. I said, okay, that's lovely. And typically, you know, they'll have an idea or it'll be a memoir and they want me to physically do the heavy lifting, the writing, or work with me. So I said, great, what's it about? She said, anything. You pick the topic, you write the book, it should be my name. I'm like,
What? Wow. That's crazy.
And you don't ever want to work with people like that, because if, like you just said, you said the hot potato words. If you don't know what you want, you'll never be happy. Because as a service provider, I don't know what goal I'm supposed to reach. Everything is a miss. So if you are the service provider, please never work with such a client. And if you are a provider, to help you find a goal, you know, that is the goal initially. Okay, you want me to help you with your copy? You don't know who you are or who you want to be? Come, let's work together to help you figure that out.
Mm-hmm.
And let's have a place, you know, the bullseye you want the dart to go hit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sometimes that process takes a while. It can take a really long time to discover who you truly are, which is the craziest thing, I guess.
A lifetime.
But it is true. Thank you so much. We're gonna have to wrap up here. So tell me,
Absolutely.
how can people reach you? What do you want to be contacted about these days? And I think you have something that you want to offer that's going to be boosting the creativity, writing creativity of our listeners too.
Okay, so please feel free to write to me at Vinita at vinitawrites.com. That's VINITA at VINITAWRITES.com. When it comes to copy, Alex and I, we were talking, you know, just before we began recording the interview. Sometimes you're so, you have the blinkers on and you have this goal and you want to hammer that goal out and you want to get it right. And you're like, I must get this copy right and I have to be myself. But the pressure from just writing one sort of writing can actually make things go a little bit wonky, or more than a little wonky. So I would like to offer you, I have a new book of creative writing prompts out. It sells at $5.99. It is of amazon.co.uk. So I have an offer out. If you would like to buy the book, and if you leave a review of the book on Amazon, please send me a screenshot of your review, and I would be very, very happy to give you full and proper feedback of any one piece that you write using one of the 100 prompts, so long as it is between 300 to 500 words. And that would be my gift to you. And sometimes stepping away and doing a different kind of writing really unlocks a lot of blockages for us. This is good all the time, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're a cook and you're trying to get a certain kind of recipe and it's not coming, just, you know, dance to music, do something different, or just throw 15 peculiar ingredients together and see what you come up with. And just the loose time, the lack of focused effort just unlocks certain things and makes interesting connections in the brain. And then we can flow naturally and get to our goal.
Great advice. And I think this is a wonderful gift. So guys, all the links are going to be under the video as always, including the email to Vinita. Thank you so much for meeting with us today. This was lovely. This was Vinita Zutshi and Alex Tomaszewska. Bye guys.
Thank you so much. Lovely meeting you all, and Alex, we shall catch up after. Bye-bye.